computer. Now we're
Now
now it's
recording.
the real thing.
Yeah,
No, and I'll send it to you afterwards so you
yeah,
have a
that would be
copy as
great.
well. That's
Thank you.
great. So just to get started here, we have a wonderful interview with Matthias Geysen on the topic of energy. It's a big topic for some people, it's a spooky topic.
Hmm.
And that's why it's good that we can just get maybe a common understanding of what it means to you before we dive into the examples and your experiences with energy.
Hmm. So so the question is what does energy means for me?
What does it mean to you? Yeah.
Yeah. So in my opinion, energy is gonna be the foundation of each physical object. So I think first
Hmm.
comes the energy, and then physical object will come by the energy. So I
Hmm.
think it's kind of interesting because then for me, it's if I walk out in nature or if I see people or I mean, it's literally like
Hmm.
a library.
It's
What
like,
does the tree represent? What
hmm.
does the cat represent? What does the horse represent? There is a
Hmm.
message that's behind. So I think if we really dive deeper in this topic, once again,
Hmm.
it's really like a library. Everything is so well connected in so many different ways that
Hmm.
it can be very valuable. Yeah, just to learn from those animals and just the connections in between and really adapt those life lessons into our daily existence.
So basically, every physical object was preceded by energy, you could say,
Hmm.
or any physical action is preceded by a thought or by.
Hmm. In
Hmm.
my opinion, yeah, I think even now these days it's even scientific proven.
It is,
It's
it
very known.
is.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's for sure very. I think we can for sure go very deep
All
in this
right.
topic. But yeah.
Okay. So if we have the premise that everything is energy, and I know scientifically as well, I think 99% of each cell is empty.
Hmm.
So that part has been proven. It's just empty space, which is filled with energy. So the question might be, how do horses work with their own energy? And maybe how do they respond to the energy of other horses? And like you said, the environment, the plant, the eagle above, the sun.
Hmm. Beautiful. I mean, that's a nice question. To be honest, I was not expecting about this question at all.
Hmm.
So in my opinion, I think, obviously the difference in between us and animals is that we ask ourselves a lot of questions, while horses and other animals, I mean, they're just being present.
Hmm.
So, so everything for them is just the pure being. They don't have the
Okay.
same way of thinking that we do. Of course, they have
Hmm.
thoughts, but it's not like a whole thinking process going on. So, and I think the most important thing, I think if you work with horses, for instance,
Hmm.
obviously they see the deeper layer. So if we're gonna approach horses, they see
Hmm.
much more than just the physical human body.
They see more than
They,
Matthias when you show up
yeah,
outside. Okay.
100%. So they feel the energy that's behind. They feel the yeah, all the deeper layers. And I think also the reason that's why I always say to people who gonna work with horses, the
Hmm.
most important thing that we can do is just be honest about our emotions.
Hmm.
If you have a bad day, then just accept you have a bad day. With
Hmm.
people, we can toughen up and say, hey, everything is fine, we're doing okay. And maybe 80% of the people will believe us. But,
Exactly.
but with horses, it's just impossible. If
Hmm.
I have a bad day and I would like to toughen up, it's not being honest. So why would
Hmm.
a horse be prefer to be my presence if I'm lying towards myself?
Hmm.
While if I'm gonna approach my horse and just say, hey, listen, it's normal. Every hour we have good days, we have bad days. Today I'm having a bad day, and I would like to overcome this problem. You know, so
Hmm.
the horse will come close to me, and they will try to help me to, get the
Really?
insight. Or yeah, if you're really honest, no problem. They try to
Hmm.
support each other, but you have to be very honest in this thing. And that's for many people, that's something we didn't learn anymore these days to
Not
be
really.
honest about our emotions.
Hmm. So if you go out to your horse and you said you have a bad day, or like we all do, you just accept that fact. You verbalize it, or I'm just trying to
Think it's a very good question. I think for each person is going to be different. Some people they're
hmm
more like verbal and they like to speak and talk and sing
talk
to
to
the
their
horses.
horses.
Yeah. And I think
Hmm.
it's a very beautiful thing to do. If it's spontaneous, it's natural. I always say for sure, just follow the flow. I'm
Hmm.
more like a silence type. I'm a bit more, in my own thoughts. And So I personally I'm a bit doing this less, but I think it depends the person for sure.
Hmm. Do you have any sort of, I guess, ritual before you go out? Because one
So
is,
so
it's, I've seen it or seen it with people and stuff, or with myself too. I want to connect with my horse, but I'm not even connected to myself. So
hmm
sometimes I have to backtrack a few steps if I had a bad day and kind of get myself lined up again before I go out.
definitely. I think it depends, to be honest. I think most of the time I cannot really complain. So for me,
Hmm.
it's more like it's a way of living. So
Okay.
I love what I'm doing. You know, I wake
Hmm.
up in the morning. I mean, for sure, we all have our struggles going on, but I love what I'm doing, and so I'm kind of fast in my element. You know, so I'm just being me. If I go to the horses, I don't really need a lot of time to reconnect with myself because
Okay.
I created a situation that I can express what I love doing. So
Hmm.
I mean that's not easy for many people, but it's if we're able to do this, it's a huge impact.
Hmm.
Obviously, if I really have like a bad day and something would happen, or then for sure sometimes it can be good to sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour to just be calm, reconnect a bit, and then I will start the day.
Hmm.
But it doesn't happen so often. I think I'm kind of lucky
You're in
to
the right place, my friend. You're in the right place.
that's the goal.
When I talk about this subject about emotions and feelings and stuff, I also hear people say they're almost afraid to go to their horse when they're in that state, not wanting to, I don't know, you could say burden the horse energetically, or
100%.
what would you say to somebody who stays away when they're having a hard time?
I think 100% it's something we hear very often from people. So I
Mm-hmm.
think you have in the horse industry you have like two type of people. You have more like the people who work in a physical way, so with
Mm-hmm.
a method or technique, which once
Yeah.
again you have, I'm never gonna say it's good or bad. It's just a way of working.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have other people who work more with the emotions,
Mm-hmm.
more the spiritual side. And in my opinion, first, I mean, let us say the physical aspect is more like the masculine energy, and the emotions
Yeah.
is more like the feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple explained. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's always a combination in between both. If you go too much to one another, I
Mm-hmm.
think we always, there's something gonna be missing. But that's another topic.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I was saying is like when you have people who work more with the emotions,
Mm-hmm.
then what happens very often, this like those people like they just ask the question about, it's like they something is going on, they don't feel so well, and they say, oh, I'm not able to go to my horse because, like you said, I don't want to burden them with my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But then I mean, once again, if you really listen to your emotions every day, like how many days a year can you truly do something with your horse? You know,
Well, you could count them on one hand, basically,
probably.
if you're quite honest. All right.
Probably. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing is, I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it's more like, okay, if you have a bad day, it's normal. Each person has bad days. The way
Mm-hmm.
how we deal with it, that's the whole difference. So once again, it's all about honesty. If you have a bad day, it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Accept your bad day and try to learn from the bad day. And to
Yeah.
be honest, that's also something, a bad day. I think we have to also be careful with describing good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really bad. It's like a
It just
beautiful
is.
opportunity to learn something. It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing bad about it.
Do you find that horses also have an off day, for lack of a better word?
Definitely, I think each living being, in my opinion, so far, I mean, we all have emotions going on. In some horses you can see they're kind of sometimes a bit stubborn, or they're gonna be a bit cheeky with the food, or you have
Mm-hmm.
playfulness and softness. It all represents something.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, they have their days they're very playful and they would love to connect and go outside for a ride, and some other days you can just feel they're a bit more, hey, let me just chill and let me eat my grass and don't bother me so much.
Mm-hmm. And that
100%.
works for you, obviously.
In my opinion, I think that's one of the things in my opinion that we can really learn from horses is to
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, once again, it's normal.
Yeah.
We as people, we have often like a goal in our mind and we have difficulties letting go of that goal.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with horses. When you go there, for sure you can force things and say, no, we're still gonna go out, but you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna, on a deeper layer, for sure you're gonna mess up something. Very important.
Yeah, the relationship
Definitely.
at the end of the day. Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. So how, I know you have, when you approach a horse and all that, it responds to your energy, but as we're not computers, our energy can change the whole time when we're with horses. Maybe something's working out. It's great. We can go on cloud nine. If something's not working out, we could
Hmm.
take a nosedive and get angry, or, the horse can do something and we have an expectation, and then the frustration comes up. How do you deal with emotions that happen in the moment?
Like I said, I think I just accept everything that just happens.
Total
I,
acceptance.
yeah, I think I don't ask too many questions about it. It's
Brilliant.
just the way it
You're
is.
good.
I mean, yeah, if you do it for such a long time, you get kind of used to it, and yeah, you get used to it. It's normal.
It's your way of being.
It's a way of being. Yeah,
You're like your horses.
yeah. I don't ask too much questions about it. It's just it's something that happens. So, like I
Mhm.
said, there's not something good or bad about it. I always try to
Mhm.
see if I go through something, I don't
Mhm.
think it's negative. So for me, it's very interesting. I say, oh wow, what am I experiencing now in this moment, and how can I learn from this moment?
Mhm.
See, so I don't see it as something negative. So then I just like, oh, interesting.
You get curious basically.
That's a good way of saying.
Mhm. Which means, I mean, I've done it too before. If I realize the emotions are frustrated, I just take a break or get off or do whatever the moment requires.
For sure. I completely
Mhm.
agree. If you're able to be in the flow when you say like, hey, my impulse at the moment is to say, hey, I'm just gonna go for a walk at the moment, and
Mhm.
you know, I mean, many people have problems with this because it's like, oh, but somebody in the past told me it's always better to stay on the horse and just to keep going, and yeah, I mean, yeah,
You
there are many.
can.
You can for sure. There are many people with many ideas.
Exactly. And each one of them has its consequences at one point or another.
Hmm.
They become clear to you.
Yeah.
Do you also, maybe not your own energies, but when I know you do workshops, how do horses respond to people's energies, people that they don't know and stuff? They're no, are they different with clients, so to speak, than they are with you?
But to be honest, very often, I mean, in a certain way, I think it's even sometimes easier with clients than with me. If it's about
Oh,
personal horses, I mean, it's like it's the same in a relationship with people. The person is closest to you, they're gonna, they
they're gonna
really know
trigger you.
you. Yeah, they're gonna trigger you. So that's the thing. So it's easier for me if I go, for instance, I give a clinic or retreat at other places,
Hmm.
because generally speaking, I'm kind of calm. I know what I'm doing
Yeah.
generally, so it turns out always kind of fine and easy. What if I walk my horses? I mean, they really know all my things to work on. So
Hmm.
it's a bit more intense. It's a bit more different, and so I think it's even opposite. I think it's easier when other people come than when
Probably a
I'm
lot easier with the other horses.
yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm just checking here. So we're talking about the energies and how horses respond to it. Now, if we move on to a topic of communication energetically, but obviously, I've seen a lot of your beautiful videos, and there's looks like nothing is happening, but everything's happening, you know?
Thank you. I see it as a compliment.
Oh, totally, totally.
It was a question with this.
I should could clarify it. So let's say I see beautiful videos where you're riding through the forest doing whatever with your horse. Are you then in constant communication with him? And how do you apply energy in the communication with your horses?
So once again, I think you asked very good questions. So personally, I don't think about these things.
Okay.
Like literally, I never had thoughts about this.
Okay.
The difference is I'm literally, I think, just being in the moment. And I mean, it's the same thing. I would never ask, sometimes people ask me, how do you sit and what do you do? I literally never thought about this. I don't think my hips have to be like
Yeah,
this, my
to do
legs have to
this
be like
and
this.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, to move them, you can, well, body language is different. But
Mm-hmm.
generally, in a calm position, I have no idea how I sit. I just want to be comfortable. That's all. I don't think
I
about the
love
physical.
that.
So,
That.
so it's
Hmm.
the same. If I'm gonna ride my horse and I go for yeah, just for a walk, I just try to be present. I'm not even trying. I'm just present and I take a look. Yeah, literally, I don't ask questions. It's just kind of natural. With my horses, if I would ride a horse that had never been trained before, when I
Hmm.
really train a horse, then I can, obviously I'm still also very present and I enjoy what I'm doing, but you're gonna
Hmm.
be a bit more aware. You're gonna see more signals. Okay, how is the horse doing? What is he perceiving? What's going on
Hmm.
in her mind? That's different because it's a horse I'm training.
Hmm.
But a horse that's been trained before, no, I don't ask any questions then.
I can imagine horses come to you instead of having to go out and buy a horse in a sense. So when you have a new horse come into your life, do you do anything different than you? Probably not. If I know, if I've been listening to you long enough now, you
What
don't
do you
have to
mean if
prepare
I
them to ride bareback or canter without a lead rope, without anything on their head.
I- if I,
I can imagine that's just energy, pure energy that you're.
For sure energy, but once again you have a physical aspect as well. You have to be kind of careful there. So you have obviously it's very important to be present, it's very important to be grounded, it's very important to be emotional stable in a way
Hmm.
and to be trustful. But you also have a physical aspect which is going to be obviously also very important. I think you have many layers how to ride and how to manage. And I mean, you also have different type of horses. With some horses, just as people, I think
Hmm.
we can be in a relationship with each person,
Hmm.
but it doesn't mean it's always going to be easy.
No.
With some people, it's going to go smooth, and some other people you have conflicts the whole time. And I think it's a bit
Hmm.
the same with horses. Some horses, you just feel instantly like wow, you have the connection going on, and
Hmm.
some other horses you just have to learn a bit more, integrate a bit more, and so I think it's already important to understand okay, what horse am I working with? But even if you have a very good horse and a very good connection, obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna be naive. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I'm calm. I will just go outside and everything is gonna be fine." No,
Hmm.
I may take my steps. First, I will go in the arena. If I don't have arena, I can also do it outside. But in
Hmm.
the arena, you can maybe first do the saddle away, still with the reins, and then
Hmm.
if you learn everything on body language, and if it's going fine, then you do the with a neck rope, and if this is
Hmm.
going fine, you can take the neck rope away and then afterwards you can go outside and then maybe first also again with the reins to be sure everything is fine and
Yeah.
step by step you build it up to that point. So if you will see the videos when I'm riding my horses, it's I mean yeah, like I said, some people they think it's like oh it's just like he's just doing his thing and it's gonna no. I mean I have a lot of control on my horses. They
Hmm.
really when I say stop, it's really stop. Something I taught them. If I want to go left, I'm very precise. It's like I would
Hmm.
have reins in my hands. I mean, there was literally no difference. So I want to achieve a point that I'm sure, at least physically,
Hmm.
and then you have the mental aspect. I want to be having so much trust in myself and my horse, and only
Hmm.
when the full package is there, then I can say, okay, now I will go out. And also one thing important to add with this, the
Hmm.
reason why I'm going outside with my horses in Liberty is
Hmm.
not to show off to people. It's because I love learning about myself. I,
Okay.
I, I like to go in the arena, you learn, but then the first time you go outside,
Hmm.
it's like there's something obviously that changes. It's like, oh, if something would happen now, how is it gonna go? So
Exactly. The
you,
mind games.
yeah, so you have doubt coming in your mind. So I love, like I said before, I love to explore and to learn. So how can I deal with the situation?
Hmm.
To stay calm in a more difficult scenario. And so when I'm able to do this, then only then I will go maybe cross like a little street where maybe two cars a day pass by.
That's a
So
good
little
one.
by little.
Hmm.
And the most important thing here is okay, if I'm able to keep calm and test myself in difficult scenarios,
Hmm.
this is super helpful just in daily life. And that's what it's all about. I would like to live in a certain kind of way.
Hmm.
Then afterwards, when I go to my horses, that I don't have to sit down and I have to be grounded and all those things.
That's a
It's a way
good
of
point,
living.
Matthias. Hmm. You're not one person without horses and another person with horses.
Mm-hmm.
They get the same package deal.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's an excellent point. I think we could learn a lot from that alone right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Think it seems obviously seeing the bigger perspective. I really do think for many people in the horse industry, I mean that's one of the probably one of the biggest mistakes is that they think too limited.
Hmm.
Horse people, they really are very horse orientated. And I mean if you see horses maybe like the little top of a finger, but what I try to do is to understand the full body. If I understand the full body, the little
Hmm.
tip of a finger becomes a logical consequence.
Hmm.
Riding a horse, if you understand the bigger picture, is
Hmm.
natural. It's not so complex. But if you would only see this as a as an existence on
Oh,
itself,
hmm.
it becomes very complex because I mean, you don't see the connections in between everything else, and it becomes way too limited.
It's the connections. I think that's also another mindset of folks when you talk about energy that you hear it everywhere, everything is connected, but when you work with horses, it becomes black and white, this connection.
Definitely. And I think that's also one of the big advantages of working with horses or just with animals in general.
Hmm.
Today, I mean, like we said, there are many people speaking, and it's nice to speak about these things, but I mean, putting in practice, it's very often another story. So
Hmm.
if you're gonna work with a horse, we always have a reference point in front of us. We can speak as much as we want, but
At
a
the end
horse
of
will
the
show
day,
you if you understood or
your
not.
horse will give you the bottom line.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, we love our little characters.
Yeah.
No, can't get enough. In German, I call them Wundertüten because they're always up for a surprise, in a positive way. Always in a
Mm,
positive way, but they're like a bag full of tricks and always new
mm,
learning and new stuff coming up. This is another question here. What's related to energy, to saying how much responsibility does a horse owner or horse person have to, in a sense, for lack of a better word, manage their energy, you know? We make sure we have a perfectly fitting saddle. We make sure, the clothes are fitting. We make sure blah, blah, blah. But then the most important component is not always part of our preparation, getting back to what we
mm-hmm,
talked about at the beginning.
mm-hmm. So the question is what?
That's good. Thank you. That's a good question. What the question was.
So what I can already answer just a little bit. I think so for sure. I completely agree. That's something that happens very often. I think what we people very often do is like we project the things
Hmm.
that we would love doing with ourselves in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, my horse needs to be physically very,
Yeah,
good shape and good clothes and in good nourishment and But how many people who are so controlling with the horse
yeah.
are able to do the same with themselves?
That's a good big one.
Very often it's just because that's something that's difficult for us to manage. So we do it in a way, but with our horse.
We kind of
It's
live out this inner need via our horse.
yeah,
Hmm.
very often we do,
Hmm.
which is understandable, but it's not always. I mean, for sure, it's not always the
That's a lot of weight, energetic weight for a horse.
yeah, definitely.
You have this, you go in with this load of energy, a picture of what you want, and
Mm-hmm.
that alone is a big energetic burden. The expectations, just the expectation
Definitely.
is enough to, yeah.
And the problem is from our perspective, it's a positive thing. That's
Hmm.
the problem for many people. It's like, oh, but I want to have the best for my horse, and I
I
want to,
want
yeah,
the
for
best for
sure.
my, hmm
From a human perspective, for sure, I completely agree, and it's beautiful. But what's about the horse perspective? And I really do think, in my opinion, I mean, very often it's much, much more simple than people can even imagine.
Really.
100%. It's like it's the
Hmm.
same. I mean, the origin can be simple. Getting there is another story. But it's like if a connection in between our daily life again.
Hmm.
I really do believe, what's the biggest gift we can give our partner, in between people.
Mm-hmm.
is to really fully accept them for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
If we're able to do this, and it's very difficult because we want to change them, we want to improve them, we want to talk to them, we want to, many things. But if you can truly accept them for who they are, the person will feel seen, the person will feel loved, and the most important thing, the person will feel safe in your environment. And
Mm-hmm.
safety is crucial. If you
The
want to
ultimate.
develop in life and you want to become vulnerable, you need to be safe. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing with the horses. We have so many things that we want to do with them and offer to them, and we think it's always going to be, the good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we lose the origin. A horse, for sure, it's not too bad. But if we were able to understand the essence of a horse, what does his or her character represent,
Mm-hmm.
and you can fully accept them for who they are, it's the same. The horse will feel loved, seen, and the most important, they will feel safe in your environment. And for me, that's a true connection. Then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, this person is coming towards me. It's like, wow, let me go to him or her, and then,
Mm-hmm.
just be cozy together.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go outside for a walk, once again, that's a connection. They will stay close to you because it's nice to be together instead of being separate.
That's a good thing to be around the human. It's
Yeah,
nice. Generates a nice feeling of
yeah.
safety. Yeah.
But it's very difficult because once again, we have a lot of doubts in our mind and we have a lot of stress and fear and all those things, and then it's all, and then we start, using other ways and techniques, methods, foods, and all those things, which is
Mm-hmm.
once again, it's a way of working. I'm not saying this is bad, but it's not really the origin. That's what I want to say. If you go outside and you do a liberty, if something bad would happen, they will not stay for a carrot.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that's the
That's an
thing. So
illusion.
it's an illusion,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for me. That's just very important to understand. And as I mentioned before, I love to learn. For me as a person, so I would like to be self-reflective and say, hey, what can I improve to, you know, improve this connection and yeah, just learn as much as possible about myself.
Mm-hmm. Were you always into horses?
But I did from 10 till 12,
Oh,
and I
well.
think yeah, 10 till 12. I think as a young boy, I started together with my father. So we
Mm-hmm.
never took any lessons. He just bought
Really?
two horses.
That's it?
He Yeah,
Wow.
just bought two horses, and
Mm-hmm.
we went outside. We made a lot of mistakes, and once it's just a nice connection between father and son.
Mm-hmm.
But then at 12 years old, I think, riding a horse is not so cool anymore for a boy. At least not in Europe. Maybe in the States, being a cowboy is
In the
different.
States, it could be different, yes, with the
Yeah,
steer, with the cow
yeah,
cutting and all that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, here it's not so cool anymore. So I stopped until the age of 18, 19, and then I
Mm.
went back to the horses to reconnect with my father. But the
Mm.
moment when I get back, he stopped. So I think we rode together 2 or 3 times. But then I kept going and I started learning more and I improved yeah, my way of riding and my way of being. And then from one step came the other.
So you're really a student of the horse.
Yeah. Well, I would say more. It's a student of life, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really think that the connection I had before is almost better than it is now.
Before, meaning when you were 10, between 10 and 12?
Before 19 when I went back to horses. So for instance, I
Okay.
made like a long journey with my backpack for let's say 2 months and a half. And
Mm-hmm.
life is easier. I mean, you don't have much responsibilities, you don't have so much burden, you're present in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, it's a library. So I see lessons in every encounter with people, in every moment that I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing. So I was very, very present in that moment. So when
Mm-hmm.
I went to horses, the connection was very fast, very deep.
Mm-hmm.
But then, it became my profession. And then you start working 7/7, and then you train so many horses, and you do this and you do that, and slowly
Mm-hmm.
but surely, the intention, the reason why I went to horses,
Mm-hmm.
like many other people, it vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's coming back for sure, but it's been a it's been a process,
It's a journey. It's really.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
It's like a lot with the horses. You see the outside, but the journey to get to where that person is with that horse is that's
mm,
what you hear very little
mm,
about the detours, the turns, the yeah, the journey. It's a big one.
mm.
We're coming to the end. Do you have I should say maybe a closing thought for people who say, hey, cool, I never looked at energy this way. I didn't know what was possible. How they could even begin to start to learn more about this topic and start integrating it into their horsemanship.
Well, I think many things in a certain way they come, kind of natural in a certain way, I do
Hmm.
think. I think the question is more likely to ask ourselves, and for sure it's a very difficult topic, which is gonna be, kind of a long story, but
Hmm.
I really do believe that each person is here to bring their essence into the physical
Yeah.
existence. So, I
Hmm.
mean, once again, it's a very big topic. So how to figure that out is also for sure another question. But if
Hmm.
you understand, okay, that's my strength, that's my being, and you find your way to really, to express this, everything else after will become more natural, more
Okay.
smooth, more easy, and the answers you're searching for, they will come very natural.
Hmm.
While if you're now completely stuck in your mind and in your work and everything else, and you're gonna ask a question, what is energy? Maybe you're gonna search it up on Google, and we will figure out more in a practical aspect,
Hmm.
but we lose the essence. We have no idea what we speak about.
Hmm.
While if we live it in a way, then it's just a way of being. It's natural.
Are the people that come to your workshops, are they horse folks or are they people that are non-horsey but want to experience this deep connection with the essence of a horse?
I think I've been through many different chapters. So in the beginning,
Hmm.
I'm only horse people, very horse driven and very, how to solve a problem and how to
Hmm.
train them, and which was for sure very learnful. But then afterwards, I started seeing things I mean, I always saw things from a bigger perspective, but still,
Hmm.
I said, no, no, now we're gonna really, see, more about the emotions and bring this also in work. And so now I was getting to a point, like for instance, in Switzerland, we
Hmm.
offer retreats, so people can come to our place for 4 or 5 days. And so we're very lucky to have a beautiful location where we have like 35 horses running in freedom,
Wow.
at least
Hmm.
in Swiss norms.
Hmm.
And so what we do is during 4 or 5 days, we don't have electricity there, we don't have internet, we don't have, cooking things. It's like very, very basic.
Hmm.
And so what we teach people is to really get to the essence of their
Hmm.
being and also the connection with horses in a very natural way without techniques or methods, but it's once again, it's a way of living. So now
Hmm.
we have people who are still, they like to connect with horses, but we also have people who just love to, use a horse, let
Hmm.
us say, as a tool to help them get closer to
Get
themselves.
back to their essence again.
Yeah. So now we have a bit both sides.
Hmm.
And now I'm changing once again
No
because
worries.
it's
Still,
I
I'm still
mean,
with you. I'm still with you.
yeah. I think this is also something I will now probably not do anymore since this year. So we're now doing it like a new program.
Hmm.
And so it's gonna be from March on probably. Probably in the next 2 3 days I will launch it. And then it's like with only 7 people, I will do for 6 months. And then it's
Oh,
really it's really living together in a certain way.
it's deep.
So that's really
Wow.
literally that's really gonna be. I mean,
Hmm.
I know for myself it's really gonna be something. So then we have really, I mean, the reason I like to have an impact on people,
Hmm.
and those people they really 100% sure they will have an impact. So we
Hmm.
see each other 3 times in real life, so it's gonna be 3 4 days, and in
Hmm.
between we do like online guidance and we give them exercise, and that's gonna be something and for sure this week cannot compare what I did before.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. That's beautiful.
gonna be something.
And those little, they're like pebbles when you throw them in the pond. These people go out, different people in life and with their horses and any other living beings they interact with. They're going to be different.
Definitely.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh. Is there anything we haven't covered, Matthias? Or something you wanted to put in there?
I think you really had very, very, very good questions, and I also appreciate, yeah, just first of all the invitation. So I just want to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can say one thing to people that, in my opinion, is very important, is that we have to realize that we're never alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's super, super important because there are so many people who think that they go to their own struggles and their own problems and their own But I mean, more than 8 billion people. I mean, I'm not sure if people even realize what
Hmm.
8 billion people is. You know, I travel kind of often, so it's huge. It's literally huge.
Hmm.
And there are so many people who go through the same thing. So today, if you, I mean, yeah, just want to say you're not alone. You know, you can reach out to, today, social media can be something very negative, but it can also be something very positive. You
Hmm.
can find groups who have the same mindset. There are so many ways to connect with people today. It's huge. You don't have to feel alone.
Hmm.
I really do think that's probably one of my biggest advantages. I never feel alone. Even if I
Hmm.
don't have people around me, like I said, what we said before, everything is energy. I
Yeah.
can go outside, I can
Hmm.
have a tree next to me.
And you're a
I,
happy camper.
I'm a happy
You're a happy
camper.
camper. And I think this 6 month program also will show people they're not alone, that other people have similar journeys or similar challenges, but together we can, move through the eye of the needle, so to speak.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, I really, I really feel it for so many years. Like I said, I went to different type of chapters, but now I'm arriving at a point, like, I mean, this is where I've been working towards to for a long time. So
Hmm.
just to share this with people, it's gonna be beautiful. Looking
Pretty
forward to it.
amazing.
Mm.
Is it going to be here in Switzerland or in France or both?
So we do so the first time when we're gonna meet is gonna be in France. It's gonna
Hmm.
be in the south of France. You have like a, I mean, once again, it's like a specific kind of thing, but you have
Yeah.
beautiful castles there, and
Hmm.
there's like you have before you have like the Qatar. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you know.
Hmm.
So I think they have kind of a beautiful history. So I would try to dive a bit deeper with those people. I mean, have a whole thing there that I can share with them, and
Hmm.
because yeah, I don't know, it's gonna be a beautiful experience. The second time we meet is gonna be probably in Iceland. So we have a
Okay.
beautiful location in Iceland, and then it's like really with the wild horses and the thing.
Hmm.
And then the last time we meet is gonna be in Switzerland at our home, high up in the mountains with the horses again.
That sounds like an amazing program, Matthias.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be take people to places they've never been. It's going to blow them away. I can
Yeah, and just
sense that.
and dive into depth, you know,
Hmm. Diving
just
deep.
diving deep because we have literally no idea. Like
Hmm.
literally, we have no idea. I mean, I literally maybe most, let's say most people, it's like they're living 10% of their potential.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Can you imagine
imagine,
when the key is unlocked and they go, wait a minute, I could
it's
be.
huge.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
really huge. And I
It's
think people need to get there again. And I think that's also probably, I mean, now we can kind of at a very important time in, let us say, in humanity. I mean, always, let us say, 500 years ago, there was a huge important point. 1,000 years, that was important. I mean, there was always important points. But I also do think once again, now we reach a very specific important time. So
hmm
people at the moment, obviously, generally speaking,
hmm
but we are literally forgetting what it means to be human.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have literally no more idea. We go so much in virtual existence we have. And I think at the moment it's very important to create spaces again where people say, oh, wow, that's the capacity of being human. So I try to, very often people in the horse industry, very often we look up to the animals. We look up to horses.
hmm
Like, oh, wow, they're so connected. They're so sensitive. They're so grounded. It's
hmm
like, wow, they're amazing. But we are forgetting that we are the last creation of existence. It's an honor to be human. It's huge. The potential that we have, we literally cannot even imagine. In a
hmm
certain way, if we were able to live our potential, we can even turn the roles around. We can even
The whole
say,
world would be different. My goodness. Can you
yeah,
imagine?
we can even say it's an honor for animals to be in our presence.
Hmm.
Obviously, I mean, we're all equal. I mean, but just to change the perspective, it's huge. The love that we have, the power that we have, the depth that we have. It's amazing. But we're very
Yeah.
disconnected.
Yeah. And sometimes I know in the past I used to think the wild horses I mean, they do have a good life and all that, but there's a certain horses that come in and are domesticated, so to speak.
Hmm.
And I think they go down a different path of growth and development because in the presence of humans.
Definitely.
They have their own journey, and it's not that bad to be a domesticated horse. It's a different journey in life. That's all.
Hmm. Hmm. if we do it in a proper way. But
Yes.
for sure,
Yeah.
that can be.
Wow. Huh. Amazing. It was way cool to talk to you.
I really, like I said, I really appreciate the invitation and thank you for
Mm-hmm.
asking the good questions.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, soon we're gonna be back in Switzerland. Maybe we can meet one day in person.
It would be great. It would be great. It would be an honor to spend time. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off now. Let's see.